that's where the enemy comes in and causes this pain that God did not intend, but God can actually redeem the pain that the enemy intended for our evil to be a megaphone that arouses a deaf world. But here's what we're really gonna focus on tonight. As we're learning to hear God's voice, Paul's gonna talk to us about discernment, how to discern sound judgment, right from wrong, good from evil, what path to take and decision to make. It is often through our pain that God speaks. Now, that's not meant to be discouraging. That's actually meant to comfort you when you're going through pain. Because where is Paul writing Philippians from? A prison. C.S. Lewis, in one of his most famous quotes in The Problem of Pain, said, "Pain is a megaphone to arouse a deaf world." Let me say that again. Pain is a megaphone to arouse a deaf world. Now, I personally believe in the Jewish idea of Zimzum, that when God metaphysically and physically created the world, he had to separate creation from himself, so it wasn't a pantheistic or panentheistic universe. He had to separate himself from his creation, and that sacred space between God and his creation is called Zimzum, just like we all have sacred space between us as we're made in the image of God. And as God created the world, I'm a big believer when it comes to evil and distortionist theology. I don't believe the enemy makes evil. I believe evil is just a distortion and a marring of what God created. I don't believe the enemy can do pure creation at all or invent anything. I think he just distorts and mars what God has made. So the enemy comes in with this distortion where God sees everything he makes, it's good, but then there's this forbidden fruit, there's a snake, something's not right. That's the distortion. The angels are singing when God creates the world, but there's this dissonance that comes into the universe and this distortion, not creation, this marring, not making. That's where the enemy comes in and causes this pain that God did not intend, but God can actually redeem the pain that the enemy intended for our evil to be a megaphone that arouses a deaf world. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that God is the cause of suffering, the cause of sickness, the cause of evil, or the cause of pain. He's not. He is the cause of everything good and pure and lovely and true and just and worthy and praiseworthy, but he is so loving that he can actually redeem what the enemy meant for evil for good, so that when you are suffering pain, that's sometimes where you most loudly hear his voice, as if through a megaphone. Let's get very practical about this. So I won't tell you which TV show it was, because right now I'm kind of doing a cycle of different TV shows, but on one of these shows, my friend told me that I got really bad ratings on one of these shows. And that's a first world problem, okay? So let me just say that. Like, that sounds very, very, very snowflake entitled, like, oh my gosh, get a real problem. You got bad TV ratings on a show, on an episode, like, big deal. Okay, but in the moment I was getting in my head, I'm like, gosh, like, I really poured my heart into this thing. Like, but you know what I told my friend? I said, I don't get discouraged. Now, doesn't matter what I feel. Discouraged to me is a cuss word. Like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say I am. Why? Because I now realize that regardless of what I feel in the moment, God is actually going to work this into something that through John Hick's Iranian soul-making theodicy with a little twist, that is forging my spirit into iron and tempering my soul into steel, so that he is actually allowing me to rise up into the likeness of God, the full stature of Christ with the measure of faith he's given me. It's actually forging me by adversity. Some people fail because of adversity, but when you walk with God, you are forged by adversity, and your adversity is actually making you more powerful. So I am a big fan right now, and I think this will help you. I hear God speak so powerfully to me through pain that I purposely put on myself. So I don't know if this will relate to you. Maybe this is just for the young men here, okay? But I'm a big believer in, like, David Goggins going in the dungeon, okay? Like, go in the dungeon. So the other day, I did this today actually too. But the other day, it was 30 some degrees out. So I'm like, what would happen if I ran up a mountain in nothing but shorts, socks, and shoes, literally nothing else? So I did this run up a mountain without stopping. It was 2 hours, 7 minutes. And I'm running through the fog, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm just in my shorts, 30 some degrees, running through the fog for 2 hours up this mountain. And then there came a point though, where I got above the fog. I couldn't feel my hands, but I got above the fog, and I was looking out over the valley, and I was above the clouds. And there was just this sheet of clouds below me, and God spoke to me. As my flesh was dying, my spirit woke up. I really believe that when the flesh dies, the spirit wakes up. And I felt like God spoke to me. I heard God's voice. The same power that created that landscape is in you. You can do anything. The same power that created that landscape is in you. You can do anything. And you wanna know where I heard that? I heard that when it was nice and cold outside and your body's screaming at you, but your spirit wakes up. When did Jesus deny Satan, the archetypal power, sex, drugs, rock and roll, be the president, have all the kingdoms of the world? When did he turn down the temptations? When he was hiking through a desert for 40 days with no food. We're not talking about an Instagram juice fast, like I'm fasting from, and you don't say, I'm fasting. It's like you ask him, so what are you fasting from? I'm like fasting from video games. I'm limiting it to 1 hour a day. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about like, his stomach's on the verge of physiologically digesting itself. And I love like, I'm gonna talk to my friends here for a moment, okay? We're gonna get way out in the deep weeds. There's power in even like being very cold. Now, if you have cardiovascular illnesses or heart problems, please don't listen to what I'm about to tell you. But there is so much power in being cold. Before I got here, I just loved, you can get icy showers in Oregon. I was in Florida the other day. The showers don't get that cold. We are blessed here. You can get really cold showers and it improves your circulation. It gives good muscle recovery. Your body doesn't like it, but afterwards you feel so healthy. I wonder if Paul was onto something when he said, I have learned to be cold. He literally said that. He said, I have learned to be cold. And I'm finding that it's true, that pain is actually a megaphone to arouse a deaf world. And I'm gonna go a level deeper. A lot of people cut themselves to sublimate the pain from their mind to their body to distract themselves. But my thought is this: what if you did inflict pain on your body only in something that was beneficial to you?
That's so good.
Like what if you did lace up the sneakers and go run up the mountain, or go on a 30-minute walk, or go take a cold shower? You think I can't do it? You absolutely can. It's entirely in your mind and it's good for you, unless you have cardiovascular illness. I do want to say that. That would stink if I got an email like, you killed my friend. I mean, I don't want to do that. But what I'm saying is there is the pain, healthy pain. I'm not talking about being a masochist or an ascetic. I'm talking about like good for you, like discipline. The word disciple means discipline. It actually helps you hear the voice of God. It really does. Have any of you felt like your mind's clear after you exercise? The opioid receptors in your brain are lighting up and the endorphins are flowing. It's akin to the drug morphine with no negative side effects. It's powerful. Ben Courson here. Thank you so much for watching my new YouTube channel. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, share this video with all your friends, and hit that bell so you're notified every time a new video comes out. May the hope be with you.